Hi everyone, it's me. Just wanted to show you some of the new soaps that I have made and have a little chat about fragrance oils for a minute. So first of all, I'll show you my hot process soaps. This one is actually Applejack and Peel, which I did in red and green with a bit of glitter on the top. It's actually a different mould than I normally use because I actually had another soap in the mould at the time, so it's sort of a longer, flatter type of mould. But I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. The colours turned out quite nicely. The next one I've got here is Honeysuckle, which I did in orange, obviously, and I've mixed a little bit of the clear melt and pour in with that, and mixed a bit through the soap and put a bit on the top. So that one turned out quite nicely, and that smells beautiful, just like honeysuckle. And this next one is Redwood and Cedar. Just sort of did that in a plain type of red colour with some grated soap on the top. Some red soap that I had, I just grated it and put it on the top. So that's my three hot process ones that I have at the moment. I've got a few cold process ones that I have made. The first one over here is actually the one that I had in the mould when I made the Applejack one, and this is just plain rose, which I sort of did in a pink colour with glitter on the top. That one turned out quite nicely. You can see the colour, the pink colour. And this is one that I just made, not yesterday, the day before. It's sweet pea with a little bit of love spell. I've just kept it whole at the moment, and so I can show you. I've just sort of actually cut the ends off, and I've cut one piece, and I put a bit of green and pink in the bottom. Show you. So I think when I cut each piece, it's going to have different sort of shades of the green and pink swirls going through. The only thing is, I don't know if you can see that there, it cracked a little bit along the top, just in the decoration that I popped along the top, but I think it'll be okay when I cut it. And that's the other end from where I cut the other end piece off, which looks quite nice with the pink and green in it as well, and that really smells lovely. What I actually wanted to talk about with the fragrance oils, in Australia here, we don't have obviously a great deal of as much choice as you do in the States and other countries. We don't have as many suppliers, so prices tend to be quite a lot higher here. So I usually deal from a couple of companies, and they're reasonably pricey, and I always look at the international places that I can try and get oils from as well. And I decided to buy a batch of oils from Burt's Heaven Scent, and the price of the oils, I should say, I got all these oils, thought that I would give them a try. And I don't know if you can see the size of this bottle here. This is the bottle of oil that I normally get here at home. That costs the same as, no, hang on, sorry, I've got to get it right. What I paid for that is what I paid for that. Does that make sense? So that small bottle, I'm not even exactly sure how much is in there. I can get that, I think that was an 8-ounce size bottle for the same price in the States. So I thought it was worth maybe doing an order, big enough order, paying the extra shipping and freight for the price of what I could get. And I ended up getting some, that's the rose one, that I just use in my other cold process one, and I got some really nice ones: cucumber melon, love spell, Christmas holly, oatmeal milk and honey. So I've used a few of them. The only thing that I wanted to talk about was I've had no problems with these whatsoever in my hot process, because obviously you cook it out and it's fine, but I'm having a bit of trouble trying to get the right balance in my cold process. So I mean, as I said, these fragrances are fantastic in my hot process, but I found every time I've put them in my cold process soap, they speed up the acceleration dramatically, and it ends up going to instant pudding unless I can get it into the mould, super quick. And this is what happened with the rose. It just automatically went thick instantly, and I was lucky enough to get it into the mould quick enough so it didn't sort of seize up on me. This is a batch that I made before Christmas, and I was really disappointed with the fact that I've realised now that it is the fragrance oil, because when I put it in, it went thick straight away. I wanted to do it, decorate it a bit and do a few different things with it, but what I did was I wanted to do it half white and half orange, because it's orange spice, sandalwood, and I think it was, orange spice and sandalwood was this fragrance that I put in here. I don't even know if you can see that I tried to leave it white at the bottom and orange at the top, and when I went in the next day to check it, the white went all sort of, I don't know if you can tell here, it's sort of glassy and opaque, like a funny colour. Like this one here, I don't know if you can see what I mean, this turned out white, like beautiful. That's how I wanted it, whereas this one, the bottom of it, went like a funny cream, like, not even white, almost like an opaque, funny sort of clear colour. And that's what's happened with the whole batch. Like, it's not white at all, it's a funny, murky sort of colour. I'm sure it's going to be perfectly fine to use, but to me it's not very attractive to sell. Like, when I wanted it to be pure white on the bottom, like this, you see, pure white, ended up being this sort of murky type of, I don't know. So I think I've come to the conclusion that I have to be careful what fragrance oils I use, because you go to the trouble to make a whole batch and it doesn't come out the way you want. It's very disappointing. So I think I will keep all these for just hot process, because as I said, they're fantastic, the smells are beautiful, but as soon as I put them in the cold process, it just speeds up the acceleration dramatically and nearly seizes the batches unless you can get them into the mould as quick as possible. I actually, with this one, didn't use the Burt's Heaven Scents. I used some fragrance oil that I'd bought from my normal supplier here in Australia. So I don't know if anyone else has had any problems with their oils doing that to their cold process soap, or they can suggest to me any good reliable fragrance oils that I can buy that will ship internationally to Australia. I would love to hear from them, because as I said, it's expensive enough getting our supplies as it is. So if I could get some great oils that stay well in the cold process soap, and then they obviously then come out the way you want them, nice and white like that, instead of that murky clear colour like that, I'd be very grateful to hear from everybody, or even some tips about how to keep my cold process soaps nice and white and clear like that. But yeah, anyway, that's all what I want to say, so I'll talk to you all later. Bye.